Shugaban kasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu ya nada Dr. Mainasara Umar Ƙogo a matsayin shugaban kotun ɗa'ar ma'aikata a cikin wata sanarwa da kakakin fadar shugaban kasa a jure Ingelale ya fitar. Shugaban kasa ya bayyana Mainasara a matsayin jajirtaccen masanin harkokin shari'a da kuma mai sharhi a kafafen yada labarai na kasa da kuma sauran kasashen getare a fannonin rayuwa daban-daban. Shugaban kasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu ya bayyana Mainasara Umar Ƙogo a matsayin haziƙin ɗan Najeriya mai kishin ƙasa da gaskiya da riƙon amana. Mainasara ya kasance mai sharhi a nan gidan rediyo da talabijin na Liberty da ke Abuja akan harkokin rayuwa ba tare da nuna gajiyawa ba, tare da aiki tukuru. Sashen Hausa na gidan rediyo da talabijin na Liberty na taya Barista Mainasara Umar Ƙogo murna samun wannan matsayi na yi wa ƙasa hidima.
Your most esteemed Excellency, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, in the history of Nigeria, the current Secretary to the Government of the Federation happens to be the one with richer credentials to occupy this office. Former Permanent Secretary, Governor, Doctor, Barista, former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and member of the National Institute, over and above all, Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now this makes the SGF a very distinguished figure in the governance of the world, because you have all it takes to lead the government towards panacea to the turbulence we are facing in the Federal Republic of Nigeria today. Your Eminence, your most esteemed Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, the only monarch whose hegemony of crown permeates 18 different countries in the world, the co-chair of the council, the Oni of the world, that people call Oni of Ife. You are Oni of the world because you are the custodian of the source. Dr. Adeye Enaitan Ogunwusi, Ojaja II, CFR, the coordinating chairman of this forum, Iba Gadoj, the paramount ruler of Niger and Katsina states. Time will not permit me to go individually into Your Royal Highnesses, Your Imperial Majesties, one by one. But I must recognize the presence of my mentor, somebody who has been nursing me right from toddler up to this level, a statesman of highest distinction in Africa, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Hassan Adamu, the Wakilin Adamawa. The topic for the discuss today, traditional institutions, governance and national cohesion. It's a very timely and apt topic. Nigeria needs this topic more than ever before because of the turbulence we are facing as a nation. The turbulence we are facing as a nation cannot have better forum than this forum to solve the problem. Your Royal Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, we need you now more than ever before, because Nigeria is facing things that are anathema to our own historical trajectory. Nigeria is facing things that are not in tandem with our own customs, traditions, and history. But for traditional rulers to do that, the traditional rulers should be prepared to exploit three windows of opportunities. The first window of opportunity is appreciation of the determination of the current government. From 1960 to date, this government, more than any other government in the history of Nigeria, has entrenched determination of restoring back our values to the traditional institutions by bringing about changes in the constitution that will catapult back the roles and the responsibilities of our royal fathers in the constitution. The second privilege we are to exploit is the fact that right from 1976, when traditional institutions' responsibilities, the 28 responsibilities of the traditional rulers, were insulated out of them. Every one of you is aware of His Eminence, the Desuki report. Then he was the Baradan Sokoto, which derogated the order of authority of their Royal Majesties. Your Excellency, distinguished Senator, Your Excellency, our Governor, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, Member of the National Institute, Commander of the Federal Republic, we are passing this message through you as our Secretary to the Government of the Federation, as the Secretary to the Government of the entire 230 million Nigerians, that we want our traditional values restored back to our royal fathers. The Council of Traditional Rulers was institutionalized in order for it to serve as a silica of the unbulldozable heritage, legacy, the interests and aspirations of the people, the native people in Nigeria. And that was what brought about the Council of Chiefs. And even the ministers in the First Republic, at both federal and provincial levels, you will discover that they have traditional titles, which means by extension, after the day's service in office, in the evening they go and bow before their royal majesties, their royal highnesses, in order to seek spiritual guidance, in order for their royal highnesses to tell them what really are the demands of the citizens. And that was what accounted to the success of both the colonialists and the First Republic nationalists. And that was what led to the success of the operations of the governance in the First Republic. Even during the Civil War, between July 1966, or precisely 1967, to 1970, when we wasted unfortunate 3,376,167 citizens. I call it unfortunate because at the end, no winner, no vanquished. The traditional rulers were the ones that assembled and decided enough was enough, and decided that everybody should embrace his own brother in the spirit of common brotherhood, because you are not wiser than God. God that decides to create you different empires, different states. If God had wished, I wouldn't have been a Nigerian. The poor mad woman you see on the street will have been the one to born me. God didn't discuss with anybody who should be the woman that will born you. God decided to make us a cosmopolitan nation, cosmopolitan whereby people from the diverse tribes, religions, culture, customs, and traditions will assemble all as same brothers in the spirit of one source, Adam and Eve. We were all from one source. The fight going on everywhere in the world is as a result of ignorance. If you see yourself anywhere, God decided that you will be there. Why? Because you are the vicegerent of God there. You are to serve as his ambassador, as a representative, in order to be able to entrench natural justice, equity and fairness on all human beings you find there, on all trees, animals and insects you find there, so that at the end of it, God will ask you, how well did you manage the responsibility I gave you in trust?